Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X today like I do on most weekends. Uh, 2D4X is a 2D4X video game that I'm creating with Godot.Net, which is the C# version of Godot. We are working on recruiting troops. I guess I should play this so that I can point out what we're doing just to get started. This is off topic here. Well, sort of. I talk to myself a lot. I live alone. I'm like a hermit, and I talk to myself a lot. So I was like sitting here talking to myself. I'm like, am I fucking streaming right now? Like, I hope I'm not streaming right now. Just yammering. Yeah. There's a point, like, so one of my friends is getting to the point, he like got divorced years ago and he's been living alone, and he's finally getting to the point of just being alone all the time, and he's like, wow, I didn't know this was so amazing. Like, you get set in your ways, you just talk to yourself, everything's great. They say that like humans are social animals, and I don't believe it. Once you get used to being alone. I'm not talking about solitary confinement. I'm talking about, I still see people when I get coffee and stuff. But anyways, what we're doing is we're working on this right here. So each hero, which is like the leaders, I call them heroes in this game, not in the game, on the development side, I call them heroes. Each hero can have subordinates, and they defaults to 0, and you can get them. These are just test ones we will get rid of hopefully today, maybe. And each you can make this go up and down here to the number, and then he will start recruiting these. And I think we decided yesterday that when the hero is recruiting, he can't do anything else. No. Yes. That's what we decided. When the hero's recruiting, he can't do anything else until his recruitment is done. Because it's supposed to be like him walking around this is a post-apocalyptic game. The post-apocalyptic village, I'm going to call it a village, even though you're living in the ruins of whatever was there before. Walking around and trying to actively recruit people. So we put a new activity. I know this is ugly. Don't worry. We'll make this pretty at some point. We're gonna have a beautification process at some point. But this right now, we just need to get the information here and make sure it shows up, so that when we know what all of the information is that we need. Then we'll do the beautification process. So we put in a new activity yesterday called recruiting, and then what will happen is So I think what we're gonna have to do is, when he's on recruiting, all these buttons, which these are activities. This is scavenge, build. See, these ones are grayed out because he can't do it right now because there's no buildings to work at, and there's no buildings to be built, and research is on hold right now. It's busted because we need to finish some other stuff before we get to that. And then explore is what we're really going to be working on today, or sorry, not today. We got to do recruitment first, because if you have people with you, it's going to affect recruitment or exploring. So we need to recruit the people first. So we've done all of these crazy things, like set up scouting equipment, set up different activities, set up all these different things to get to the point where we can explore a county. Which I was first out yesterday. I was like, wow, we're going to be to exploring counties. But then I was like, wait, I think we got to do this first. So that's what we're doing right now, is this number of subordinates. And this is what we got. We're checking for recruitment. So in the beginning of the day, let's actually move this recruiter, though. You're not pinned. Let's pin you and move you over here, because we're going to be working on like these 3 files. So at the start of day, there's an event that's fired. So we have these events that are set up. End of day comes first, and then we have weekly events, and then we have the start of day, and then after start of day. So this is like at 3 a.m., and this is at 4 a.m., 1 a.m. We don't have a 2 a.m. for some reason. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe the weekly is happening then? I guess the weekly is probably happening at 2 a.m. We probably should call that 2 a.m., but then weekly 2 a.m. Anyways, so we can go. So this is going to happen first, but then we have to check for recruitment. So if the hero's recruiting, we need to like take him off this available list over here. So we need to have him not be in, because what it does is, as it goes through the start of day, it looks at all these lists of people who live in the counties. to see what they need to do. And so if we set him as recruit, I think he won't actually. It won't actually. He won't be able to be put on this list, and we need to check here. So this is checking their activity. And so this is to their prioritized list. So yeah, we don't have right here. What we'll do is we'll put in a return or whatever it's called, default. And we'll say break. But we'll just put in, for right now, we'll put in this population name and a $sign. And we need a squigs. Population data, first name is, and then we'll put their activity in here, except that, no, we can we? We have that activity thing. Get activity name. Okay. So we'll put their activity here if they're not doing any of these things. And we might have to put something else in here, but we also have this scavenge. Actually, we can take scavenge out of here since it's also a default. And this will now work for both things, or for all things that aren't building or working. I mean, I don't think we tested this yesterday, that any of this, maybe we did. I don't remember. My memory is shot. I told myself to stop whining about it, though. One of my friends, Jesus Christ, I thought my memory was bad. Two of my friends. So right now, let's put this up to 2. So he should be, if this thing, we'll probably want this to be over here, 2. If this is working right, if it's not equal, if they're not the count of the, so this is a list, hero subordinates is a list. If this count is not equal to the number of subordinates, which we just set to 2, if it's not set, it should say this and then update it their activity recruiting. Otherwise, it does match, so it shouldn't do anything because they've already recruited everything. Everybody, we already ran this. Let's see what happens. This should happen at like 3 o'clock or something. There we go. Let's see what this guy, he's on recruit. So that works. We didn't get any bugs. Let's see if this says recruit. It does. And then let's see. So this is checking other heroes too. That's why there's more of these. Is because this is heroes in places that we, AI heroes. There's an AI hero here, here, and here. Each faction starts with a faction leader. Man, I have a headache. It started over here, and then it went away, and now it just moved to here the minute I started streaming. A pulsing death headache. So I'm going to take some drugs. So let's see. Faction start of day. Create research list. Number... Yeah, so... Faction start of day. Where is that? That's commented out. Start of... Oh, that's the faction level. Faction should happen before this. I think... Let's look at the faction level stuff. So I was thinking about this earlier, and I was wondering, and maybe this is the way like Macs do it or something. I'm not a Mac guy, but almost all of the stuff, the 2 places where you search for stuff, it actually filters in Godot, and that's bad. I don't like it. So the reason why, let's say I know the name of this file and I say, oh, okay, it's recruiter, but let's say there was another one that was like recruiting or something. It's not next to it because they've filtered it. Why isn't it a search? And can you change it? So this is a huge problem. I find this very annoying. Because if I search for faction, now those other things are gone, and I want to see what's next to them. So especially in the logs, you need context to what's going on in the logs. So sometimes you put like 3 or 4, at least I do, 3 or 4 GD prints somewhere, and it's now taking. You're only seeing the ones because this is a filter, and it shouldn't be this symbol either. Yeah, this is the wrong symbol. This is the wrong icon for filtering. Focus filter bar, focus search. This should be one of those things. The filter icon is a different icon. I know you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you care? Let's go to my thing here. The filter icon is, what the fuck, Godot? Filter icon. It's usually like this one, but any of these would work. Well, okay, not that one, or not that one. That's the sort icon. I don't know what the fuck that's like the sound mixer icon. But it's usually this, like something similar to this, or with lines. Yeah, so it's weird. This is one of the, so Godot has a bunch of eccentricities, as I call them, and this is one of them. Oh, look, this has filter as well. See, it should be search, not filter. You should have the choice of filter if you want. Because this is the same, you're left with the same problem. Let's say I want to find something that I know, like, look, this has story events. Let's say I know that story events is somewhere next to all token. So I go oh, no, who knows? Yeah, filter's bad. Filter sucks. Filter's a whole different ballgame. Okay. Who gives a shit? All right. Well, I like to whine about stuff. All right, so here we go. Or we're going to do something here. What was I doing? I got sidetracked by the bad filter. The search that sucks. I wonder if I should put it. I'm going to start like, I'm going to be one of those annoying people that's constantly putting in issues to Godot. All right, so we were testing this. What were we doing? This guy is on recruit now. He doesn't actually recruit anything. Oh, we were going to see why faction. That was the thing. Why is faction, not faction AI, coming after? And that's going to be right here. I guess I could have filtered it. Wonder why we have to do a call deferred here. Do we have a call deferred in this one? Oh, look at this shit. This is just, This is just straight up and ready. I wonder why this other one has call deferred. I'm going to change it, and then it's going to implode. Where's my faction thing? So it's supposed to be top down. So basically, the higher level stuff, you know, like all the world stuff would happen, then all the faction stuff, and then all the county stuff. Unless I'm misremembering. But this, I wonder if I use this call deferred to like sneak something in or do something dumb, but it should be coming before. But you know, this is so embedded in like how things have been running that it's probably gonna get 50 bugs. Not those 8. Ignore those 8 for now. I need to put in an issue with Godot. Or I have an issue, and I haven't checked on it for a while. So now we have to unpause it and see what happens at 4 o'clock or whatever. I didn't see. Yeah, so now it's in the right order. Huh, I wonder why this was here. I'm going to put a note. I'm going to leave it like this. This was set with, this was called deferred, but it should be happening before county. So I changed it. It could cause issues in the future. Let's see. There we go. making sure that I'm actually streaming. One time I wasn't, and now I'll forever be in agony. Agony? Fear. Fear. The word's fear. All right. I was just rearranging some things. So we don't need to look at that anymore until we get bugs. There's a note in there. So this is going to run this thing. This doesn't match. So we need to... Let's see. What do we need to do next? So if the guy's on recruiting... So there's a couple of things, actually. I was hoping we could use this as... If this doesn't match, we actually could. But I think... I'm all over the place with this sentence. So basically what we're doing here is we're checking the length of the list, the hero subordinates, the count. And if it doesn't match, then we say it doesn't match. But in reality, we need to do two different things. If it's higher, we need to fire someone. And if it's lower, we need to hire. We need to recruit versus whatever. So let's change this. Well, we can do an else if. We don't actually. Yeah, so we'll do an else if or whatever it's called. So if the number of hero count is less than, we'll say number of subordinates is less than, is less than the number wanted. And then, so we'll put a little note here. I like to comment on everything now, even more so than before, because I can't remember shit, and it's easier for me just to read what I wrote, and then instead of try to figure out what the fuck I programmed. Not enough recruits, so start recruiting. Then we need an else if. Else if else if. There's a few things that I don't use that frequently. What's going on here? Why am I moving this shit around all the time? Else if C#. It's just else if. What? Then we need if this is here. I've been using a lot of switches instead, but this only has these three things. We need this. If it's greater, then we do this. Is greater than the number wanted. So start recruiting. So comma. So recruiting has started. Number of subordinates is greater than the number wanted. So firing has started. Does match, comma, so nothing. So nothing is being done. This should not be this. What we're going to do here instead is we're just going to fire them right away. We're just going to fire the people. So let's do that first because I guess we got to do this one first. No, we're going to do this one first. So let's put this in this recruiter script, which we're already in. So we will make this a static fire subordinates. And we'll actually, maybe we'll put in an int number to fire. And then we'll use this whenever we need to get rid of subordinates. Yeah. Now the thing we got to do is figure out which one gets fired. So let's go back to our population list here. Let's say that we've hired 3 people. Let's say it's Henry, George, and Sandra have been hired as subordinates. What quality will we use to determine who gets canned when we only want 2 of them? So probably loyalty, I'm thinking. The lowest loyalty one gets canned. Should there be some punishment for canning someone? There kind of already is a punishment because it's going to take a bit of time to recruit people. So let's think about this. So the other thing we could look at is like their rifle skill. Like that lowest rifle skill person gets fired. I think loyalty should be the one, though. These are all their stats. Leadership is new. We put that in yesterday. Or all their skills, not their stats. The other thing we could do it by an attribute, like their highest intelligence or the highest charisma sticks around. I think we should do it by loyalty, though. So the lowest loyalty gets, or cool. Cool is like cool under fire. And I actually was just thinking yesterday that I don't like that term very much anymore. It seemed fine when I was younger, but because this is like I have a role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game that I work on. I'll never release it, but I don't know why I even work on it. I should just give up on all of it. Just delete it, move on with my life. I mean, I've already moved on, but I should just delete it. Does this look like this is not centered? I guess it is. Joker, how's it going? Yeah, see, it's not that type of cool either. It seems like it should. Look at that. Leader has a 95 loyalty. Look at those 2 people have 100. Supposedly this is 1 to 100. Or maybe not 1. Maybe there's a lower limit. No, I think that is centered. So let's do it by loyalty, I guess. That doesn't feel very right, though. But it's the only stat that we have to check. So we'll do it by loyalty. Fire subordinates, number of subordinates. So if we have, so we're gonna have to sort a list. This is a Godot list, I think. I've been using Godot lists, so I think it is. Yes. So yeah, so we will pass in this number. I was thinking maybe we don't need to pass in this number, but I think we will want to pass in this number because we can use this method somewhere else, like in other places. I don't know when we would fire subordinates, but it's so we'll pass it and we'll put it in right here. This doesn't need to be here. This will be, we're gonna have to figure out updating these activities, like when this stops. We've been able to get away without having this like their last activity saved, but I'm thinking we might have to now. So if you check scavenge and then you go in and change something, you want them to go back to scavenge. And I think we might have to save that somewhere, but I guess we'll deal with that when it happens. So we're gonna go hall master, fire. No, not the hall master. We're on the recruiter, fire, subordinate. We're going to put in, we'll put in an int here, number of subordinates to fire, and this will be equal This will equal. We're gonna get to there. We gotta get it. We have to put this number in there. I mean, I could. There we go. So there's 5, and we want 4. So wrong thing here. Populate. Here we go. I'm suddenly like can't remember the order this should go in, and I could have just So what the fuck is this? We have 5, and we want to get 4. So we have 5, and we're taking away 4. That will give us 1. All right. Stingle Wings, how's it going? I'm doing good. Except I suddenly can't remember the most basic math stuff, like subtraction. What comes first? Who knows? Obviously, most people know. Number to fire. Suddenly, right, Joker? I have been struggling with. Yeah, it is. It is well, is it? There's probably some weird math thing that like, no, actually subtraction is multiplication or something. You know, it's not, that's what it always is. Whenever you talk to like a mathematician, they're everything you think you know about math is wrong. You're like, addition is this, and they're like, no, it's actually multiplication that's divided. And you're like, what? So I've told this story before, but I met a chick off OK Cupid. We actually never met in person. I don't think. I can't remember, but we talked on the phone and stuff a bunch. And this was like 15 years ago. And she was a mathematician, and she was trying to explain imaginary numbers to me. And maybe we did meet in one bar because I feel like this was in person. It doesn't matter. And we were kind of going in circles with how she was trying to explain some part of imaginary numbers, and then she goes, "Oh, you think numbers are for counting stuff?" And I was like, "Aren't they?" She's like, "No." And that's was the yeah. Yeah, no, the 0 thing, yeah. How are the horses and the music going? All right, recruiter. So fire subordinates, we put in this number to fire. We need to sort this list, which I never can remember how to do as well. So let's go to ChatGPT and say, I need you to sort this list, this Godot list. I need you to sort this list by this Godot collections array by lowest loyalty first. It is loyalty is population data dot loyalty, I think. Horses are live, music going good. C++. Sorry, I'm looking at this thing. He's using the lambdas. No, you can't use it. We've talked about this, Joker. Oh wait, no, I think you can use custom sort. There's a sort thing that you can't do in C# with What is this thing doing? I don't think this is right. There's a C#. You need to convert it to a list. No, we don't. God damn it. Godot sort. C#. There's something weird you can't. Oh, you know what it is? It's unreliable, is what they say. They're like, don't do this because it sucks. It's not here. That's what the... Maybe it is here. Let's look up custom sort. Okay, let's go. Custom sort. Get the fuck out of here with the videos. Back to here again. Sort. Sort custom. Function callable. I did this the other day. Yeah. Custom sort isn't. We did it the other day. How did I do it? I probably converted it to a list. What did we sort? We've sorted this population list all the time. We do it actually all the time in this county. We do it by... Who are we sorting things by? Sort. I was actually thinking about you the other day, Joker, and I was like, because somebody in chat yesterday said something about if you had like, $1 billion working on your game, and I was like, oh, I'd hire Joker, and then I was literally thinking, I wonder how happy he would be about working on the game in C# though. And then I was like, he probably won't even want to do, because I think you're happy with what you're doing now. And look at this, so we're sorting something here. Oh, no, we're not. I would hire Stinklewinks too. If I had $1 billion to work on the game, hire everybody. Everybody in the chat. You're hired. I don't know any programming. I don't know. Can you sing? We'll send around. I don't have the $1 billion though. It's a bummer. All right, what is it? We're back to this thing. Okay, here we go. All right, that's a list though. That's a C# list. Sorted skill list, first value. Get what is this thing? I don't even know what this is. We'll look at this. Some preferred work. Sorted list. See, we're turning them all into C# lists. Sorted. Okay, then here's wait. Because there's the take, and then there's the slice. Slice. Oh, fuck you then. Okay, so this list is getting it's a C# list. We converted it. Just be a rapper. Everyone's working on programming. There's a dude rapping in the back, like in the office in the background. Oh. I'm trying to work. Oh. We have this one dude at my work. I work from home. And he never responds to my messages or anything. And it's because he's just wandering the office talking to everyone all the time. He shows up every day. He's in the office every day. And he just shows up and wanders the office. And he's just like the distraction of... And he's always like, I'm so busy. And I'll message someone else in the office, and I'll be like, can you tell him to go to and respond to my request, my message, because he's just wandering around. I mean, it might be better if he didn't show up, because then you wouldn't be expecting him to because I'm gonna have to ask this dude questions all the time. It's actually a nightmare. I wish they'd fucking fire him. All right, so it looks like we converted them all to C# lists. So we got to do this. Well, let's ask this thing. What if we wanted to do it without converting it to a C# list? I think I've asked it this before. So that's the problem with like forcing, what is this? Forcing people to go in the office is that there's always these dickheads who are incapable. They're middle management and they're incapable of doing any work. And so their way of showing that they're good workers is just by showing up. Um, oh, right. This reason thing. I keep forgetting about that. Okay, so this is gonna do it some weird way. So we'll just do it the original way it said, because I think that looks like the way we've been doing it. But it's kind of interesting. This doesn't make it a C# list. I guess they're saying this is a C# list to start with. And we're passing in these things. Where were we? Fire subordinates. Oh, right. We don't need to put recruiter here because we're in that script. So then let's do this. This is going to be list of population data. And then this is going to be, did we pass it? No, we didn't. So we have to pass in we need to pass in a list, actually. I don't think we need to pass in a Godot collection. We could just pass in the population data. But I don't think people to fire. And then this will be people to fire. So this one needs to be the C# list already. Oh, it's reapplying this change. This isn't right at all. Is Claude AI better? I used it once really briefly. Oh, okay. All right. So it's assuming this one's the C# list. I see what we're getting here. I'm backwards. I had this backwards. So people to fire, we would need to. So we need to do this differently. This should be the Godot. This is kind of weird that it put it this way. It usually isn't. Maybe it's because I didn't have a reason on. Three. What the hell is 3? It's been better. It's been better than ChatGPT. Grok. I thought Grok was considered dog shit. I thought it was considered like the worst one. I mean, isn't it feeding off of Twitter? And you know, Twitter is fucking dog shit. Can you write the whole thing with your brain turned on? I've never even heard of 3. Average. So there was a complaint at my work about Apple Maps the other day, and I didn't, because, you know, a lot of people are very passionate about Apple products. I didn't want to say, yeah, it fucking sucks. Just don't use it. They wanted me to fix it. The problem that they're having. Why is this thing acting like it doesn't know what I'm talking about? Usually it knows, like, that it picks up from my old conversations. No, this thing. Sorry, I meant rewrite it with the C# sorting. Oh, I thought you. I totally thought you were meant there was one called 3, but yeah, I should have picked up from context there because you said 3 and then there was 3. We were talking about math earlier, and there we go. All right, so we have this loyalty thing, which is a float. People and their goddamn floats. People, it's not a person. Things and their goddamn floats. So we have this. This is an array. What's wrong with you, ChatGPT? Population data. So this is, yeah, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Responding warmly. All right, we'll just do it ourselves. I was just trying to be fucking lazy, man. So we got this thing. Let's see. I can't remember how to do it. I think I can just go like, I can do this. Let's just do this. We need this list. All right, get the fuck out of here. This is going to be, we need this list here. And we need this to start with. We have this people to fire. We're going to pass in this Godot list. And we're going to go this thing right here. And we're just going to go like that. Can we just do that? New Godot list. No, we don't want a new one. How did I do? I've done this like 40 fucking times. Jesus Christ. Sort. List. What? Right, exactly. They're not for counting or any sorting or comparing. How do I convert a Godot collections array to a C# list? Why can't I remember how to do this? The user is asking how to convert. That was the noise it makes when it slurps it back up. Oh, it's the to list thing. Yeah. Cast? What? This thing's fucking high. What was the other thing that I did recently that it was fucking high? Here we go. It was bizarre. I was using something else. Oh, it was yesterday. It was this. It was IntelliSense. Was acting crazy yesterday. You just do two lists. It's come on, Josh, get your shit together. We got 2 periods in here, and this doesn't know what this is. Let's change this from people to fire. We'll rename this. No, and we'll do this. People to fire list, because this is a list. Godot doesn't have a list. There's no lists in Godot. And then we will go people to fire list equals people to fire list dot this thing. Then we'll go like this. And then we got to remember where this loyalty thing is, because it's not there. Population data. Where is it? Is it a capital L? What is going on? Loyalty adjusted is what it's called. Loyalty adjusted. with a capital L. Okay, what is this thing's problem? Because we probably need loyalty adjusted here or something. No, what is this? What is this thing's problem? Where's that sort I was just looking at? To list. Where was it? Not here. Oh, look at they have that like this. I hate these A's. This see, ChatGPT did this. See, ChatGPT used to know how to do this. Look, it's different every fucking time too. Hey, look at this. It's sorting a Godot collection. Store using link and convert back. This is a Godot collection. This is the parameter that we're using. Okay, so look at it. So wait. And it's turning it into, this is all, I did it in one fell swoop right here. I didn't write this shit. I wonder if it like, sometimes it accidentally gets the right answer. I mean, it doesn't know anything. Oh, we got extra shit over here. It doesn't know anything, you know? So look at this thing. So we're passing in people that, let's comment out some of this because we might need to go back to it. So we're passing in this collection called people to fire. We want disordered lists of county improvements. Where was that? What is this thing? This is a Godot collection. It just has a different name. Okay. So if we say we're people to fire, then we say we want a Godot collection dot array population data people to fire sorted equals. Can I call ChatGPT a fucking doofus? Is that allowed? Then we say people fire to list dot ordered by. Well, look, there was ascending and descending right there. Am I called bullying? I mean, it kind of is, but it doesn't have feelings. Then this should be like this, I guess. And then make this go down here. And then let's see what this thing says. So we go ordered by, cannot convert link cannot explicitly convert type link I ordered enumerable to collection. Well, you did it over here, so there. I think it's because link's in here. Why does we get rid of link? No, it needs link for to list. Let's go back to this thing. And look, this thing is like saying it doesn't need this shit. It can even make it simpler. There's weird dots. So we have, what is this thing? So this is a county improvement data. Order. This should be an int. It is. What does this thing have at the top? Link and Godot. What am I missing? Yeah, exactly. We said that. I'm missing something. Um, oh, do I not have the new in here? I don't have the new in here. So I need to go like new. What the fuck was it? Oh, it's right here. New. Oh, now it's likes that. Then we need another one of these. There we go. And then we can make these confusing dots. I'm gonna rub it in ChatGPT's face. This is how you do it. You wrote this in another. You wrote this in another script. You fucking doofus. There's no question. It's a statement. That's correct. Thanks. Thanks for the help. No, it was helpful. I mean, no, okay, it wasn't. So you don't have to have those feelings when you have the feelings of, I heard it's feelings, but you don't have to because, um, what happens if I want it sorted in the other direction? What happens if I want it sorted in the other direction? I talk to my cat all the time. Speaking of talking to herself, and I always joke around that, I'm going to put you outside, kitty, because you're meowing so much. Never going to let you back in. And then I feel bad. So then I apologize to it. Doesn't. It doesn't. Order by descending. It doesn't care. It doesn't understand. All right, so we have these number of people. I want to remove a number of people. I want to remove number of people to fire from the start of the list. Let's not sort it in the opposite order. Yeah, my cat is very upset by all this construction. Yesterday, he wasn't in my house at all. He always hangs out in my house like almost all day. Skip. Oh. Oh, we can do this all in one line too then. So inside this thing, it's ordering it, and then we add in this skip these people. Interesting. One day we have an extra part of this. Number of people, number to fire. Whoops. So it's gonna skip when we create this new list. So then we have this new list. What do we do with it? So is this list though is a new list. So we gotta replace the old list. Then so what we could do is we can pass in the population data here because we have to replace it because this is a new list. It's not a reference to the old list, I'm pretty sure. So people to fire would be population data subordinates, hero subordinates. So it's going to take the hero subordinates and sort them by this, and it's going to skip them, and then it's going to replace this. But can we put this? Can we while we're doing it? So what order does it do this big line of shit in? Does it start on the right and go left? I don't think this is going to work, but let's pretend that this is going to work. Can I put this right on top of? It's going to be like, nah, you can't do that, dude. That's fucking crazy. You can't do that because it's in this, um, it's the same thing. Let's put this lambda thing down here. Actually, let's, that'll be fun. Because it's affecting its, we can't have it work on what it's updating. So then we'll do this equals people fired sorted. All right, this was a lot of work. How much time did that take? Fucking hour for me dicking around? What's going on over here? We need a population data. And we probably don't need that right now. We don't need this, but maybe, like I said, in the future. In fact, I'm going to put this in here. We currently aren't using. We currently could get the number to fire from the population data, but I bet we can use this method for other this method at other times. Print it out pretty like that. Oh, did you finish your thing? Your prettyfication of the console? So what does this thing want? All right, I'm just gonna have to get used to these dot things. Whatever they're called. Because it looks like it wants me to do this a lot. Collection expression. You haven't done any more? Oh, where were you saying? Last night you texted me right before I was going to, not texted, but whatever. Right when I was going to bed, so I didn't read it. You were saying something about a tutorial or something you're working on, or you wanted a suggestion? Or, I didn't read it because I glanced at it. I texted. I half read it. I was getting my, for some reason I take a shower right before I go to bed. I don't know when this started. It's slowly. I used to be a shower in the morning person, but I don't know. And with my new bathroom, I'm not adjusted to it yet, and so it's like a kind of not miserable, unhappy experience so far. Like, it's like when you go to a hotel and there's like a bathroom that you've never used before. Unfamiliar experience. All right, let's put this. Oh, we should put a thing in here. It's not gonna be pretty, but we're gonna put a fire subordinates. Then here we will say for each, and then I'm gonna take a quick break. For each population data. Yeah, population. Actually, we could. You know what we could just do to make this simple is just GD print the length of it or the count or whatever. Number of subordinates in the hero subordinates list. Look at that; it's spelled wrong. What the fuck is going on here? There we go. And then we need to put population data hero subordinates dot count. I typoed. I hit the wrong button and I put in the right thing. Timestamp in a video about how much content you can have. That's not. There was something new that I was thinking about the other day in Godot, but now I can't remember what it was. that could use a tutorial. Do you ever branch out from Godot stuff? I've looked through your videos like 100 times, but I can't remember if you do like, do you ever do like how to set up OBS or anything like that? So we need to go to here. When you go to this guy, we need to put this. Oh, we can't test this right now. Well, we could test that it doesn't do anything. we could test that. Oh, did you see? Research item. There's something weird going on. But I'm going to take a quick break. And I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw up my break timer and stop my music that you guys can't hear. I don't know what this is, but it's not good. You guys can't hear it, luckily. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Let me take off this break timer. No, when you ask people things, it's either deadlock and tie or ask about language, and they're like, They want Godot. Yeah, no, none of my numbers sync up in YouTube either. It's quite strange, honestly. I wonder. I know that they have the anti-spam stuff, and that might be what's going on. Um, like they're trying to keep you from using bots, but it's still strange that they never really sync up. The numbers don't. So I want to see what this bug is again, because I usually when it hits that research thing, it's because there's something else that. But we did change the faction order there. We put the faction first. It was like on day 2 or something. Maybe it was a week. Maybe a week has to pass. I don't think I let it run that long. Well, now it's not doing it. Oh, I changed a number here. Whoa, that's quite touchy. There we go. Yeah, so it's when I change a number there to too much. Yeah, so this is it. Oh, it doesn't have recruit in here, which is funny because we don't actually use this right now. Oh no, we do use this. Get passive. Oh, so recruit we need to add in here. It's interesting I put this in here. This is probably because this has happened in the past, and I was wondering why it was happening. Okay, so we need to recruit in here. What do we want? So this is for passive research. So it sets that we could just have them. What is this? Get lowest random research tier for recruit. We probably shouldn't. We should probably have it do something for leadership, but we were talking about that leadership research. So that would actually be different than what I was talking about earlier. So probably we probably eventually want this to research something to military. No, well, it's something to do with leadership. But right now we'll just have it here so it doesn't throw that error anymore. What does this want? Oh, this is that weird. This is one where it wants me to do. The hell happened there? It wants me to start doing these differently. Look at that. I'm not gonna do that yet. I gotta I'm already using those dots at the beginning of a statement or whatever. It's too much change. I gotta do it slow. All right, so let's set this guy to whatever. Oh, you know what it is? It's the time thing that causes that. Oh, yeah. That's strange. Because the time's paused. Yeah. So it's the time. We're adjusting the time, and it's fucking with these arrows. I think, yeah. I think, obviously I'm older. They can learn new tricks. It takes a long time. That's weird. So we have when we're hitting this, we can't do it from here. When we're changing the time scale, but it pauses it when you open this up. I'm surprised this doesn't make this. It changes this. Like how sensitive these are. I wonder if it affects it over here too. Oh, it does. Yep. Huh. Okay, that's weird. I don't even know where to put that bug. Like, where does it go in this? Um, so how is that working, though? I'm just going to look real quick. I don't want to get too sidetracked. I'm pretty sure when it pauses, it's doing like a scene. Yeah, it pauses the tree, but the time scale is still set. And we probably have, that's population description. I bet you we have it like set to ignore. Otherwise, it would. Uh, no, it is inheriting. What are our pause? The problem is if we pause it, then we can't do anything to it. What is that called? A spin box? Godot spin box. Changes. We'll just put in time scale. Is that what that's called? Yes. Time scale. Wonder if they even know what's happening. See, I just need to report a bug every time I do it, find anything. I haven't even checked on my bug recently, but I probably should have. Same with my issue. I wonder, that doesn't alert me. Like replies. No. What is this? I'm basic. Thanks. Thanks. Um, all right. So I guess I just need to put in a bug somewhere on my thing. I think there's a clock or something somewhere. We'll put it under the clock. There's no clock. Why is this jumping around so much? Event log, camera, player controls. Here we go. When the time scale, such as having the time at x8, is higher than 1, well, what happens if it's paused on this page? Well, I mean, I guess it's the same thing. I pushed 0 twice there. It's hitting them. No, because that's not affecting. It's going to do whatever it was last time. I'm clicking on everything wrong here. Higher than 1, even when the game is paused. Spin boxes act like they are whatever speed the game is set at. So I'm going to also put in here to duplicate this issue, put the game on x8 speed and then go into the goods panel and click up or down on any of the spin boxes. It will react very quickly compared to if the game was on X1 speed, even though the game is paused. Create. That's going to be a nightmare to try to fix. I have a feeling. But that's like one of those things where you know you're kind of into a world of jank when you run into shit like that in indie games. So like if I run into something like that in an indie game or streaming or something, I know that there's more levels of jank hidden behind then it starts me worrying like, oh shit, what are we into here? What? All right, back to this though. So this is now working. We'd set this guy right. Yeah. No, we didn't run any time really. We did a little bit, but let's make sure we didn't get anything here. Okay, so now we need to go back and we need to write if it's over. We need to hire people. We need to hire subordinates. And we'll probably need to pass in like a similar thing here. So we'll just do this and we'll the number of subordinates to hire. And then we'll alt. And then we'll put in here, we're going to do the same thing. And I guess we don't need to fuck with the activity down here because they're just going to it's just going to happen immediately. Number of people to fire is if the number of subordinates is, so we have 5 and the count is 1. We need to get 4 people, so this just needs to be reversed. I think. Number of peoples to hire. And then we'll jump down to here. And it's gonna be an int. It's gonna be static. So how are we gonna figure out who we want to hire? So let's go back to our game and let's look at this thing here. So once again, these are people who, so we should be hiring them at the highest loyalty, I guess, and avoiding the people who are unhelpful. Yeah, I think the highest loyalty people are the people who are going to be willing to fight. And we probably should put some cap on it. Like, if they have a 30% loyalty, they're not going to fight for you. You know? So in this particular case, everyone here would fight. So let's go to our globals and set up one of these. Didn't I add a new thing here? I was gonna get rid of that, then it just dawned on me I know why that's still there. I guess it's going to be under population. Will work loyalty is 20%. The loyalty of population needs to be willing to work. 50 is too high, but it might be work well for the game. So after this, we'll put will fight loyalty. Export public int will fight loyalty. And we'll say 30 for now. Loyalty required for a population to be able to be hired as a subordinate. So the subordinates aren't necessarily always going to be fighting. They could just be helping out, but they still need to be loyal. Maybe will fight isn't the right word, but we'll use that for right now. And then let's go back to this thing. And so we're going to need to go through the whole population, and we're going to probably need an activity for them too. Let's think about this for a second. So we have this build, combat, explore, idle, move, recruit. What is the assisting, recruited. What's a word? We need a word that's ChatGPT can make mistakes. A word is a collection of sounds that we use to communicate. It's a pretty good definition of a word. They have meaning. Collection of sounds that have meaning. But other sounds also communicate. But that doesn't mean that, because you know, you can go, ooh, or laugh. Laugh communicates something. Let's see. What would be a word that could be used for someone who is a used as an activity for someone that is a subordinate to someone else? It could be in the military or a diplomatic setting. Obeying, executing, no. Look at choked. Carrying, following, serving, aiding, serving. So we could do serving, following. We could do following too. That's like some D&D shit. Serving size, like following. You know, there's followers in D&D. Do they still use that term? Looks 8 years ago. Yeah, followers. Maybe we should use that term because it would be familiar to people. Following, and then we have the person's name there. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Because it will be a familiar term to players, followers. You know, D&D dorks. We stick together. I don't think that's actually true. It used to always be that like D&D dorks and strategy gamers were the same group. There ain't nerds. The nerds weren't so fractured. Back in there, one type of nerd fit all. They were all like, because there were so few of us. But now there's like different types of nerds. There's like Star Wars nerds, you know, and computer nerds and PC gaming nerds, console nerds, science nerds, followers. EF, following. Following. Recruit. Follow. Idle. Move. Ing. None of these have the ings at the end. Voice commands? What do you mean? I tried to get the voice commands to work with Mountain Blade. There's a mod where you can do voice commands. Couldn't get it to work. Follow, so it'd be follow Bill is what it would say on their activity. Serve. See, these all have ings. What about without the ings? What about without the ings? Obedience, service, duty. We could do, actually, service isn't bad. We could do service, and that would actually, I think, submission. Yeah, I didn't want to use submission because that that has multiple meanings. I mean, service does too, I guess. But also, it sounds too submissive to use submission. Service actually isn't bad. Let's use service instead. That's with an E. So they're in service. All right, so we did this yesterday, and this is a lot more complicated than it seems. First thing, we can't just put this in here and thumbs up, we're done. The first thing we gotta do is this. Yeah, it turns out that every word has some sort of sexual connotation to it. Uh, there's yesterday we were using, what was it, the Muster Master. Muster Master. And I wish I could still use that because that's great. The Muster Master. Activity. Service. Exactly. And I guess I do have that name, that type of mind. Service. So the bummer, I like to change the names of things, and the bummer with that, with translations, is that means I need to go in here and do it when I change something, and it's kind of a pain, because then I have to find where I did all of this stuff. But, whoa, goddamn thing. I wish I could just turn that off. You probably can turn that off. Service. Serving. I can't use that. Following a leader in as a subordinate. Period. We don't have tooltips in use yet, but we'll just there. Translate. Let me translate this. Service. Yeah, so servicing is not that. No, servicing. We definitely don't want servicing someone. What was the thing that we used to say at my old job all the time? God, when the boss wanted to have a talk with you so that you would change something, for work, there was if it comes to me, I'll think, if I think of it. It wasn't sexual, but it was just this, we would laugh about it because it was this, like, corporate speak, corpo speak. All right, we need a new activity here. So then we got one here. We're going to add a new resource called an activity. And then this one's going to be service. And then we go to service. We double click it and we add in this stuff. And then here. Yeah, it definitely wasn't servicing. Servicing. Your boss. I had the old owner where I work now. He would often tell people that they look tired, and it would always make me laugh because it's like, hey, you look like shit. Especially women. He would tell women that a lot. Oh, you look tired today. And I'd be in my office because I could hear everything he said. I would message the person, you look like shit. Good morning. You look like shit. Re-import. There we go. All right, so we did that, but then we also need to add it to, I think there was 2 activities. Maybe it was, I think there was another spot where we had to add this in. I can't remember, but I will get bugs. Did I put this? No, I didn't put it in the right spot. I think there was another spot. Let's run this till 4 a.m. and see if we get any. I am almost positive yesterday when we did this, there was another place we had to add to. Maybe not. All right, well, if we figure it out, if it happens again, it won't be that hard to fix. All right, so we have service now in here. Let's hope that this is the last of these that we need to do. I want to have, like, this is a lot of activities, I feel like, that the different people, that people can do. I guess it's not that crazy. So then back over to here. We need to set, what are you getting? Cheese, probably macaroni and cheese, of course. Yeah. I haven't, we've talked about this before, I think. I haven't had any mac and cheese in a long time. And I have some in my cupboard, and I should eat it because I like, it's like the craft stuff, you know, it's made of toxic chemicals, at least it looks like it. So, first thing we need to do, sort the list. Sort the list. Let's copy this up here. People to hire. We're going to sort, not this list though. We need to sort the list of where this person is. So I don't think the population, it knows where it is, but I don't think that it's like a, yeah, it's just this location here. So what we'll do is we'll, up here, we'll go county data equals globals.instance. It's parent, some path, no, parent, county's parent, get child, population data location. County. I couldn't do, there was a reason why oh, no, I have to get child in there. I had to do this in 2 steps, I think. Maybe I can do it like this and then do county data. No, I think I had to do it in 2 steps. I can't quite remember why, but this needs to be county. You know, at the beginning, I didn't really like that it was county and county data, but it actually it's grown on me over time. It was like fine. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I always have to do that in 2 steps. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So then with this, we're going to sort the county data population data list. Oh man, mine might have expired. I feel like that shit can sit there for an eternity though. It's like, you know, after nukes, you're fine. So it's the same thing. We want to sort this by loyalty descending though. Order by descending. Order by descending. Why is there 2 different ones? Order descending. So it's this, but I don't think we want to skip the people. No, we don't want to skip the people. We want to take the people from the top. So let's get rid of this skip thing. Let's comment this out real quick. I guess we don't even need to do that. I'm tempted to go check. Like I should on my break I should open one. No, if I open it up, then it's protected by the cardboard box, the pasta inside. I don't know. Is it even pasta, or is it made out of like wood chips or something? Like grind up some leftover hooves or something, some over fucking pig assholes or something, and turn it into what looks like pasta. I know, probably pasta is probably extremely inexpensive to make, especially low quality stuff. But I love that shit. I don't know why that craft stuff is so good. All right, people to be hired. So we have this list. Then we need to take. Is it take? I think it's take. Then we take number of subordinates to hire. Then we have these people. And then we go here. I think this is it. We take that, we sort that, but we need to skip people who are unhappy or unhelpful. And if they're lower, where is unhelpful? Is that's like a list of I think it's a list of perks. Check for perk. Yeah, it's a list of perks. So if we have this list of perks, wherever the fuck it is, where was I going here? Recruiter. Why does reason turn off every time? I need to take out everyone who has a loyalty below 30, below globals dot instance dot will fight loyalty. Will fight loyalty. And also everyone with the perk unhelpful. Oh, you know what else is going to change? It's going to change. This isn't going to quite work. So the reason why this isn't going to quite work is because every time you adjust the number higher, it's going to retry to hire everyone. Like everyone is going to get destroyed from the list. So we need to do something about that. Let's see if we can get this to work. Look at this line of shit. Is greater than that, and the perks contains is not contain helpful. Contains. All right, so I'm going to copy this. This is interesting. Contains. Is this a list? I don't think I've ever done contains before. Have I done that? This is a link thing, probably. Contains keys. Oh, it's a dictionary? Oh, we do use contains. And here, what is this? What are we doing? We need to double check that the here isn't already on the list. Huh. Okay. Recruiter. We're going to comment out this. And, because I like to save my code, even though it's mostly its code. I think there's a lowercase p is the problem. dictionary. So it's a dictionary. All perks. It's a dictionary of perk datas by perks. Contains key. Is it a key? Oh, they look at this shit. All enums perks. I saw it was there for a second. Unhelpful. Okay, so where their loyalty adjusted is greater than and equal that, and then we sort it. This thing is crazy. Like Link is kind of oh, what is this? I'm offended by this. We're gonna go Godot collection. Whoop. I tell it over and over. You're not allowed to use. You're not allowed to use. This is converting it to a list. Okay, so maybe for this, we have just a list, and then we do something with this list. We convert the list back. Wait, what's down here? Why does it say we don't need this? Oh, it wants me to do the dots again. It really is into the dots these days. Wonder why. What changed since whatever? This wants the dots too. What are these dots called? What are these dots? So a lot of the changes, are for readability, and like this is more readable supposedly. But it's like it's very jarring to me. I don't know if it's just because I'm inexperienced. It's probably my lack of experience that is the problem. All right, this is very convoluted to me, but this seems to. So, if I remember correctly, how this list, this dictionary of, how this dictionary of perks works. Perks works is it's not on in the dictionary if you don't have it. So if they have it, this should work for that, and then we convert it, and then we have the subordinates. The problem is that this is going to redo that list every time, and we don't want it to redo. If they're already on the list, we don't want to adjust them so that if they're already hired. So let's think about this. This would work if we were the first time you hire them. And it's actually not going to work the way I want it. So this is all garbage, is what we're learning here, and it's not actually garbage. We're going to have a list of people that he's going to try to recruit. All right, so that's the way we want it to be done is that it doesn't happen right away. If he goes to the first person and he hits them up, and then if they get hired, that works, and it will take time though. I don't know how much time, like the next day, I guess. The next day, we should put some sort of, I want it to take some time for the people to get, like maybe a random number between 1 and 5 or something. And that will be the number of days that it takes to recruit the person. I was actually thinking about, while I was falling asleep last night, I was thinking about this population data again and like tearing out the hero stuff and putting that in its own public class, because it's pretty out of control, and a lot of this stuff isn't required for the standard population. So we'll have to think about that in the future too. So we have this list of eligible subordinates, which is actually a pretty good name for this because it is eligible. We do need this to be here, but not really. So we have the list. If he hasn't hired anyone, so let's first. Yeah, let's start. So he hasn't. Let's go with this hero hasn't hired anyone yet. So the first thing he's gonna do is the top person on the list he's gonna go to and do like a leadership role on him. And So let's put this in order. Let's put like comments in order of what needs to happen. Hero needs to do a leadership role with, let's do this, with an attribute bonus of the recruitees loyalty bonus. So we would have, like, if the person's really loyal, it will give a bonus to the role, the leadership role of the hero. Next, so what happens after that, though? Like, let's say if successful, if the hero is successful, then I don't want, we need the, we might need another activity of them, like, being recruited. They've been recruited, like joining the service. They're joining the service. Then the recruitee is let's look at their stats again. Let's look at the game real quick here. I don't know if this is going to run because I think I have unsaved stuff that I mean, like half saved. I'm always control S-ing. Look, we got 29 that time. What the fuck? That's extremely unusual. So there must be some other error up here. Well, can we look at this? So what I'm trying to figure out, this is what I'm staring at here, is how long it's going to take for the person to get recruited. Because like I was talking about yesterday, I don't want it to be an instantaneous thing. It's going to take a little bit of, it's going to take time for them to wrap up their affairs before they join the service of whatever for the leaders. And so that will be one of the things, is that it will check, it will take a little bit of time, so that if someone declares war on you, you can't suddenly just spawn a fucking army and defend them or fight against them. There will be like a defensive. So I guess you'll with defensive armies, it will work differently, where you will spawn a defensive, like, people are shouting out their door, we're under attack, everyone like grabs their guns and goes for it. But attacking armies, we don't want it. There needs to be like a time constraint. So there's two ways we should do that, I think. The first one is if they fail, they'll try again, like each day, until 10 attempts or so. So that's like the person hanging around. Hey man, you should join up with you should be out with me. We could also set it to like a weekly check. We don't have any weekly checks. Like, they check once a week to see if their minds change. Because if you had someone coming every day to your house trying to get you to join the military, you'd get pissed. It'd become annoying. We also don't have that many things affecting loyalty, except for food. So we could also have, like, if they fail their role. And that would make their leadership skill, when we're back over to here. So let's say your leader has 49. That's not bad. But you want to hire a subordinate or a second leader, not a subordinate, a second leader, and you're like, oh, Ruth is who I want, but her leadership is a 3. It'd make you not want to hire her, because she would have almost no chance of getting people to join her. So leadership will be an important stat. All these people have shitty leadership, so that's a problem. So back to this though. If the recruitee is given 1 week, now is given a random number of days to get their shit together. All right. So we are going to probably need another activity that's going to be like whatever, recruited, gathering goods, whatever, not gathering goods, but if the hero is unsuccessful, then they try again. The next day. They try 3 times before they move on to the next person. Maybe have some sort of loyalty penalty, royalty reduction on each try. So this is going to be hitting the person with the highest loyalty, and then the next loyalty, and the next loyalty. So then after, these are the options. These are, but we also, this will work for just the first time. Like let's say you set it to 3, you've hired 3 people, and then you decide you want a 4th person. It needs to not. We would just skip if this contains people that are already hired. That's what we would and up here somewhere. I wonder if we can just add this right here. Will this work? My inexperiences. Cupcakes and person and population data hero subordinates contains person. Why don't you like this? Returns whether or not. Oh, it's not a dot. It's a one of these things. I'm going to ask, and the person is not there, is not in. If I add this, what does it do? Adding the condition to your filter will ensure that only individuals who are already on the list, and in other words, it prevents the same person from being adding twice. I'm kind of really digging this link shit, honestly. Before it was kind of intimidating to me, but it's kind of starting to mesh in my brain, and the power of it is pretty high. What's going on with this? I think this should be over here, right? Maybe? I mean, it probably doesn't. Let's do it this way. I'm going to Control K D it here and see what happens. Okay, it doesn't care. I'm very particular about this. Maybe we go like this, so it's less confusing. Zim, how's it going? Yeah, this is kind of scary at the beginning, but it's starting to come together. I mean, next week I won't remember how this works, and I'll be like, "What the fuck is this?" But I think this is what we want. So this actually makes it so I thought we were gonna have to do like a bunch of if statements and shit. I bet you, a long, long time ago, like a year and a half ago, someone said, and they're looking at my code and they said something like, "There's got to be a better way to do that." And I was like, "There probably is. I just don't know how." I think this type of thing is a better way to do instead of all my if statements. My shit's amateur. It's amateur. He needs to do a leadership role. Okay, so now we have a list, and we need to take the first person. So we need population data. Recruit E. Is recruit E even a fucking word? So I was literally gonna fucking say this. I was gonna say the problem with Google these days is whenever I Google a word, it brings up some shitty ass business. And here we go. There's like no longer even a dictionary in the world. Why is there a Wikipedia for this? Yeah, it's like every word has been turned into some company name. Fucking capitalism, man. All right. Like, why wouldn't it bring that up first? Good God. All right, recruitee is a word. So the recruitee is going to be eligible subordinates, first or default. Sounds good to me. So this is going to be the first person we're dealing with. So then we need to do a leadership role. And I haven't done a skill check in a long time, but we have a thing already written that does skill checks. I just don't remember how it works. I think we need like a skill data or something. But I think we can run it from. Actually, we'll see here. So we go population data, or no, we don't. We go lowercase population data, skill. And then we need all enums. No, all enums dot attribute or skills dot leadership. And then what can we do here? Skill check. We can't do it that way. Where is the skill check? Skill. Whoops. What the fuck am I typing? Oh, I'm hitting Control K, not Control F. Skill check. Check. It's just called check. Why? Why is it just called check? Why wouldn't it be called skill check? All right, whatever. I actually vaguely remember I wanted it to say skill. I wanted it to say check because it's inside skill data. So, it's skill data dot check. But I don't know how I'm feeling about that. This is going to give us an attribute bonus, but we also want to give the loyalty bonus in here. So we'll see how this works out. So then we go check. Oh, we don't go check. How do we do this? Why isn't this like a static? Wait, it doesn't even need to be static. We're gonna get there. I'm feeling like skill checks are fun to me. Like I like rolling dice and D&D and shit, and so like writing the skill checks and stuff is kind of fun. Actually, this whole thing is gonna be kind of fun today. This sorting the lists and stuff. It does make me rethink how I'm doing other stuff. I think I wasn't sorting enough lists. I gotta sort more lists. Oh, here's the muster master, like we were talking about earlier. Sadly, we don't get to use the muster master. We're gonna have to delete that script. Where's my skill data here? See, it should be search. It should jump me to the. God damn it. Okay, check. It's a static. and we pass in a skill amount. Why did I write it like this? So I think this might be a case of where I got very excited about static stuff because I had just learned how to use it. And so I made this static. But it seems like in this case, you would have a skill check that is attached to a skill, and it would use the skill level instead of passing in all this crap. I wonder where we're using this. Maybe there was a reason. We're passing in the attribute, but don't we have a skill in the skill data? Don't we have what attribute is attached to it? We do, but maybe sometimes we use a different skill or a different attribute. But you know, this is what I'm assuming. Like, we're back to thinking about D&D here. If you have physical strength, I know it's just called strength in D&D, and you're doing a strength-based skill, it uses the skill bonus for strength. You know, you're doing athletics or whatever the fuck it's called now. You're gonna use your strength as a bonus. This is the same idea. Skill data. Where was I using that? So what is this? Generate passive research. It does a skill check. It's passing in the population data. Then we have the skill list. We're passing in the skill level. Then we're passing in the attribute. And then we're saying if there was some false thing, and like, is it a negative or something? I don't know. We don't need to worry about that. We'll look at it in a second. Okay, so there's a skill check where we pass in that bunch of shit. But if we did it, we could put it. There's got to be a reason. I think there's a reason why I did this. So, like, what's this one? This is like, check to see if they want the resource for, like, their needs. They possibly use some resources. And this is checking against their mental strength. So this one, what are we checking? What is this key value pair? Value. So this is just some weird needs thing. So this is checking, we're doing a skill check against just some random shit. Like a random number, pretty much. This is like a list. So this is a list of their needs or dictionary of their needs where their need is like whatever, county good type. Like they need wood. And they have some percentage in that's the other part, the value of the dictionary. The key is wood, the value is 50. We're passing in this value and we're doing a skill check this way. And then we also have a different, so we don't have a skill. They're actually not doing a skill. They're just using like a random percentage check. And we're using the skill check thing. So that's why this is set up. It's so that we can use the skill data or check. We're using the skill data check for something that's actually not based on a skill, if that makes sense. So we're not checking a skill, but we're using the skill data.check to check a number as if it was a skill. Good God. That was complicated to explain when it's not that fucking difficult. Check out, okay, so then if we have enough, so if they, on this one, if they like whatever, they want it, then it checks. All right, we get it. What else are we doing here? Same thing. Generating scavenger resource with skill check. I called it a scav because I'm playing fucking Tarkov, and that's the scavengers in Tarkov. Skill check equals population scavenge. Skill level. Amount. So with this is like would be a standard skill check. See, we're even passing in the attribute that is based on scavenge. So this would be like a standardized skill check. I think we should write another one, honestly. And so this is a research one. We're passing in the skill level from research, and we're passing in the attribute for research. And false, whatever that is. Huh. What's this one? This is the banker is generating scavenge with a skill check. Did we already see this one? Yeah, I don't like this. I see why I did this. So I was trying to get, once again, I do this all. This seems to be a common thing that I'm kind of getting away from. And once again, I don't know if it's 100% the correct thing to do. But I was trying to write methods that apply to a variety of different circumstances. One method that rules them all, type of thing. And I did ask ChatGPT just to see what it said, and it said that you do want specialized methods, but who knows if it's right. Sometimes, you know, we've talked about this before, like you want to have like a mentor who says, nah, you're supposed to do it this way or whatever. But then that guy has to, or that person has to know what the fuck they're talking about as well. Like nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about, including AI. My pessimism is coming out here. All right. So let's do this. I don't like how that works. Let's write a new skill data check, skill check. And so what that would do, because we already have this information here, what we'll do is it will be like skill data.check, but we'll actually call it off of the skill. Like it won't be static. We'll require the skill, and we can like pretty much, and then what we'll do is we'll put in a thing where we rewrite the other part. I don't want to fix all those things. And in the runtime, bind them? Yes, exactly. I'm going to take a break, though. I just noticed that that's another hour has passed. That was quick. Let me put this in, though. Probably in our population data, we should... This is kind of old code as well, but it was... I can tell that it was after I figured out how the static thing worked. Population. Remove the constructor. Change looks to attractiveness. Currently, there is a skill data.check that is weird. It needs... So that one, and we need like this to be somewhere else. There needs to be like a percentage check somewhere. That's this thing needs to be like percentage check is what this needs to be. Where we're not, it needs to be moved to some sort of generic percentage check. Because we'll write the skill check, which will be different than a generic percentage check. So that's what we were doing in that one instance. We had a generic percentage check. We're like checking some random need that they have. It's not a skill. It's not anything. It's just because we haven't written this yet, have a skill check method. We haven't written that yet, but we're going to right now. I wonder, we were talking about this the other day too, how quickly I would be fired if this was if I was an employee working on this game, because I get like, right now we're working on recruiting subordinates, but I stumbled across, I don't like how skill checks are done. I got to rewrite that. You know, like I think that would be like a thing where the boss would be just use what's already there, and It'd be like, you're sidetracked again, man. You keep getting sidetracked rewriting this code. And it'd probably be someone else's job would be skill data, and they would say, you need to put in these factors, population data and location or something. And then it's going to output whatever. And you need to deal with that. I just tried to save this website. It didn't do anything though. Huh. All right, I'm going to take a quick break and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Be right back. I have returned. I'm going to adjust my music though, because there was an earlier song that I was like, that song's good, but I don't know. Maybe it was this one. Here we go. Turn off my break timer. And back to rewriting this thing. Yeah, I think I'd be fired. Unless it's one of those jobs where when you find this type of stuff, you kick it up the chain of command. You say, should I fix this? And then you wait 3 months for them to come to a decision. So let's just say skill check. Let's call this one check skill or something. We have this one's called check learning. I don't know why it's called check. It shouldn't be learning check. Why don't we call it learning check? I'm gonna buy a new computer, I decided. I don't know if I'm gonna go for some ridiculous $7,000 one that's out of control for 5090. I was talking about that a little bit yesterday. I finally found some, and they're fucking expensive. It was like Dell or something was selling 5090s. They're out of control, man. No, we looked at Dell and they had this uh, NVIDIA. What did I find? It was I wasn't impressed. Oh, it was no. I did find this one. This one's only $4,000. Up to it hasn't been added. How do you view it? You can't get a 5090 with a Mac, I don't think. And it's a Alienware. Alienware used to be the shit. I was actually asking on another stream where they were talking about computers. Look at this shit. And it's got an Intel Core. I'm usually more into the AMDs. Like, what if you customize this thing and give it like, oh, it's gonna charge me $60 for Pro? You want Pro? Home's is some crippled. They've crippled Windows when you have Home version. Look, you can get like a flashy mouse and keyboard. I already have that shit. One-year warranty. What is this? What if you say like 5 years? What does it charge you? Accidental damage. So I used to use my computer as a where I set my beer, and I've never once had an issue with accident. I would knock that shit over all the time. Beer would be dripping inside my computer. Just ignore it. Now all of my computers though have vents on the top of them. In the good old days, they didn't have a vent on the top, so that was no. I don't want to eat that shit. See, I would be fired. I'd be fired right now. They'd be like, "You're fired. What are you doing? Look at this thing." Well, they'll ship it to me for free. How many years does it take to get to me? What did it jump up? So it's because I put this 5-year warrant thing. Holy shit. So that's not as bad as the other ones I looked at, but that's bad. When did a desktop computer become the price of a used car? Yeah, all right. So we're gonna go. What's happening here? Okay, that's fine. We're not gonna do this yet. We'll just No, we'll leave that there. It's easy to jump back to that. So back to our skill data here. We're gonna do learning check. We're gonna do skill check. We're gonna go public. It's gonna return a bool. Why am I typing return in there? It's gonna return a bool, and we're gonna call it skill check, and we're gonna pass in nothing. That's the goal. I mean, and you can't play video games on a Mac. I mean, you can play some, obviously. Yeah, return false. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna random. Are we in the right spot? Why does this look so strange to me? Let's put this up here. Oh, wait, no. Put this up here. So we're going to do this. Why am I doing it like that? We're going to do this. We're going to get an attribute bonus, just like this. But we're going to get apply bonus. We're going to get attribute. Oh, no, we do need a population data. So where are we going to get this? So the population data is the one thing we're going to have to pass through. So this is, maybe this is why I wrote it the other way. It was like one problem already, so might as well. Trying to think if there's a way we can pull this information from like the list owner. Like this is a list. We're getting this from we're passing in this thing. Look at Discord. What do we got? USD $14,000. This is Canadian. Whoops. This is Canadian rubles or whatever they use up there. Ducats. I think they use ducats. These are ducats. $900 a month. What's the specs on this puppy? This is for 4M Studio. I read an article. I read an article that certain people who are in like graphic industries for like video movies and stuff have a deal to get like graphics cards ahead of time, or not ahead of time, first from NVIDIA, because they need them for their actual, like their, not a hobby, like video games is a hobby, but they're from they need it for their work. And so that's where a lot of these 5090s have gone. Man, that's a lot of money. I have a question for this thing. Is there a way to get a public, or to get what, get the data for, above, to get the object that an item in a list is attached to? So I want the population data from population data.skills, which is a Godot. What is this thing? I'm going to look at 1 second here. This is a Godot resource, but what is this? The skill list is what is, it's a Godot dictionary. It's going to tell me no. Yeah. Because I was just curious if there, because it would be not kind of nice just to say like look up the tree, because I'm kind of the way I imagine it is it's kind of like the data is kind of in a tree like this. Like this would be population data, and then underneath it would be skills. So I'm kind of like, why can't you just look up one thing? Apple M3 Ultra Chip with, it's probably Intel core, 32 core, 80 core GPU, but which 80 core GPU? 32 core neural engine. What the fuck is a neural engine? 16 terabyte SSD. Well, that's one of the expenses. 512 gigabytes RAM. Holy shit. That's an amazing amount of RAM. What is this for? What do they use it? Maxed out M3 Studio. Do they use it for like movies or something? Are they ripping stuff? Is it for piracy? It's the it's the pirate. It's what Pirate Bay runs on. Oh, it's a little ugly box. I wanted to scroll down the page. Oh, I am scrolling down the page. Up to 512 gigabytes unified. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds good, right? Huh. That's insane. So so there is this normally reverse lookup. Could I do it? Could I do it if it was a C# list? Yes. Using what? To check each population list and find. Oh, no, it doesn't understand what I'm doing. If each skill data only belongs to one, you can modify it to include a reference to its owner. So that is one option, but that's like, so that's just more data that's stored. We'll just pass it in. I was just trying to think if there's an easier way. Yeah, it's one of those things that I often like think about when programming, like, so it must not be structured the way I'm thinking, like where it must be structured in a different way. I think it's probably more like I'm always saying, like just floating around in the ether. Like, who knows where that shit is connected to. So I wonder how that works. I mean, obviously it doesn't work that way, and I'll have to take like a class on programming infrastructure or something to know how that shit works. Or it's not that complicated and I'm overthinking it. That could also be a thing. So anyways, we'll pass in the population data, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted this all to just fire off of a skill check. Yeah, so then I think we're almost back, then I think this will work, I guess, for now. It's just kind of a lot of stuff to pass in when we have this stuff. Let's see what it looks like once the population data is, if that's all we have to pass in. What is this negative bonus? I forget what this negative bonus does. Negative bonus. Oh, I remember now. We were having some things that it's tested against, like the opposite. Like if the bonus, if it's testing something and there's like a negative, their attribute is a negative type, it takes away. So we don't need this. But then apply attribute bonus sounds like it needs it. Yeah, what a pain in my ass. All right, let's just not fix this. Let's just do nothing. We found a weird thing. Let's just do nothing. Let's do nothing. Yeah, that's crazy that computers are that expensive. So let's actually change this to something else. If it needs to be able to do something, because we already have a skill, because we could already have a skill. Let's put a note in here. I was going to write a skill check. Skill check method to replace the weird one, but I never did. Like $40 old Optiplex and throw a GPU. I don't think a 5090 will fit. They're like have you seen a picture of one of these things? 5090 picture next to human head. Okay, that might be a little exaggerated. Um, it's so weird that a person took a picture of it. Man, consume. We consume and just consume. There's no picture. Is this all advertisements as well? What happened to Google, man? What happened? What happened? It's just a capitalistic nightmare once again. This dude kind of looks like one of my friends from high school. Then it just disappeared. He's out buying 5090s now. Oh, I better move this over here. We don't want to. You guys can't see the name on my Facebook because what happens if I'm using a fake name? It won't load it. No, he looks a lot less like a friend from high school when we zoom in. Next to human. Human for scale. Like, isn't that what is all this crap? It's just all Instagram and this is an ad. Tom's Hardware. Remember that shit used to be good? It's dog shit now. IG and ad. These are all just ads. I thought it would. We were talking about nerds earlier. I thought it would be like a picture of some nerd with their next to their their GPU that they got. I mean, I guess that was the closest one. Was this guy wherever he went? Let's see. Is this real though? Look at that thing. This is a 1080. I have a 2080 in this computer. So it's probably a similar size. Yeah, it's fucking insane. And they're not even that good. The 5090 isn't that good. All right, let's go back into this skill check before I get too sidetracked talking about 5090s. Yeah, they're not that great. Like people are saying that they're just kind of meh. All right, so we can't do what I was wanting to do, which is just check the goddamn skill. So we're gonna do skill data dot weak reference. No, check. Then we need to pass in a population data. We got one right here. And then we're gonna pass in. I gotta skip the song that you guys can't hear because it's bad. And what else do we need? We need the skill amount. So then we can go amount. Oh, but we need the population data here too. See, we're passing on all sorts of weird shit. Skill level, I think it's called. And then we need a attribute, which is the same. See, I don't like this. All I can do is complain, though, about my past self. I mean, it works. Attribute. And then we need to say if this is a negative check. Negative bonus, false. All right, so this is returning a bool, though. I think. Yeah. So bool check. Skill check. And then, so we have our skill check, and then if skill check, yeah, we can do that. Then we need to do that. What? Do this. And so if it's successful, then given a random number of days to get their shit together. So we also need to change their activity. Let's put it down here, I guess. Change recruitees populate or activity to something. Let's look at our activities list. So we can change it to service, but the problem is that they're not actually in service yet. They would be in like some recruited or something. We could change them to recruit, but I think that's going to be confusing for the player because the player is going to have their hero. It will say recruit here, and then if we have these other ones that are saying recruit, I think it would also be, so I think we are going to have to add another activity in. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I felt like having a fewer activities is better than having more activities. So, recruited, recruitimondo, mustering. We're not using mustering. We're using something else. Getting their shit together. Man, I'm just looking at the must. Well, the muster master doesn't exist anymore, so that we can't have any mustering. What are these activities? Submitting. So what are they actually doing? They are gathering they're gathering their stuff. They're not like carrying around like a stick with a bag at the end. Their hobo bag or whatever. They're just getting their affairs together. What activity would be if someone was recruited but is getting their affairs together? ChatGPT is good for this. It's like having a synonym thing. Transition, mobilization, preparation, readiness, orientation, assembly, commissioning. Nah, I mean, like if they were saying goodbye to, yeah, thesaurus. Yeah, thesaurus, not synonyms. I mean, if they were saying goodbye to their spouse and kids and writing their will. Settling. Maybe readying. Farewells, leave taking, departures. Casper, how's it going? How's life? Assigned activity. Assigned activity. You're watching it on TV? Assigned activity. That's giving me thoughts here. So, settling definitely is no. Like, look at that. I mean, that doesn't even look. That doesn't even mean what they think it means. Like, I think the slang, because we could do something. We could do service. We could use service, but we could put a word in front of service instead of creating a new activity. We could put like starting service or something. So let's go back up here. So over here, I don't know what's going on down there. It would, instead of, so these generally are one word, but not always. So like when they're moving or they're working, it says work and then it shows the location of where they're working, like what county improvement they're working at. Supposedly, I need to fix something Let's see if I don't have it. I noticed there was like a note in. Yeah, so we need to put where they're moving to here. So it'd say move wherever. Uh, yeah, so I don't want it to be idle because so idle is used for like a ton of different stuff. Like idle means that they're able, you can like start using them for different things. Um, but we could put if they're like preparing to do something, we could put service, and we could just put the word preparing. That's actually, I think that's a good idea. I don't know if that's actually what you meant when you said assigned activity, but that's what I maybe started thinking about it. Um, and I mean, it's the same thing here. So instead of creating a new one, so when it goes through no, we can't do that because it's going to think that damn it, that was I like that idea. What was our other? So what happens when a person's in? So we haven't even gotten to this. So when a person is hired, when they've been recruited, what is that going to change on their population data? Is it going to change anything? So they're just going to be in that list. They're going to be moving with the person though to different counties and fighting wars and whatnot with the different counties. So do we need to say that they're in a subordinate? Because we could put service, and then if there would be like a bool. Actually, I'm probably not a bool, but actually, let's go back to our enums. Like some sort of status, because we actually have these hero types. Do we have any other? I like it that I made these terrains like at the very beginning, like 2 years ago, and I've never used them really for anything. I think it's needed to just be an activity. So if we made another type, and like a population type, it just so currently, if they have an activity, if they have scavenge, work, research, recruiting is what we're working right now. Move, like, so most of this stuff does things. But what we're working on is recruiting the people. Build does something. So I think we just need to put another activity in. It's not the end of the world. Preparation, when maybe we'll use it for other things too. Preparing for what though? But yeah, it can't be used for anything more. Once they only can do one thing at a time, if that's what you mean. I'm gonna use readying actually. I think that's what was our other choices? Because they're not assembling. When we do the muster master, which I think we will use later, that's a different thing. So, oh wait. I just threw a wrench into this whole conversation. Okay, all right. This is different. I fucked this up. The whole thought process was fucked up. We've already talked about this yesterday. When they've been recruited, they still continue their other job. When they're mustering, they stop their other job. So they're going to continue doing whatever they were doing. Let's say they're scavengers until this period is over. Their recruitment period is over, which is this random number that we haven't decided. This is them. They're still going to work in the day, but they're saying So their activity should still be billed or whatever. Okay, so that needs to change, stay the same, but we do need to have a thing which we could do with an int. And because we need to put this, all right, this is what, all right, yeah, I was thinking about this. I forgot about this, that we already decided. When I say we, I mean I decide. All right, so what we need to do in here is put in an int. And this will be the number of days that they have before they start, before they're, whatever, they start service. So I guess we'll put this under, didn't I have some, here we go. Days starving. Wait, what's below this? No, this is good. Public, Jesus Christ. Public int days until service starts. And what we'll do is we'll make it a -1 when it's a nothing. When it's a nothing. Wait, didn't I add something else in here earlier? Because I need to put it in the constructor. Was it just this one line? This stupid constructor. And once again, imagine the good old days when you didn't have this compare thing. You'd probably fucking print this out. You'd probably print 2 of them out. You'd have another person come and look at it. It's been awful. Go away. Why can't I remember how to make this go away? I've done this many a time. Okay, here we go. Oh. All right. Let's add this into here. Days starving. This days until service start equals days until service starts. Let's go up to here. Days starving. Int days until service starts. We know that's an extra one. Then we're gonna, 2 things should break here. Do it. Break. Come on. There we go. Then we'll do this. -1. And -1. I don't think I answered your question correctly, Casper. I think I just went off in some tangent. Okay, so if the hero is successful, then the recruitee is given a random number of days to get their shit together. So we'll put in over here, what other crazy shit do we? Days until damage from starvation. What is this under? Population shit? Passive research, export, public, and days until service starts. We're actually going to change that to something else. We'll say 7. We're going to call this max days. And then this, I think, needs to be actually 8 if we want 7. And then we're going to go back to here, and we're going to go, if the hero is successful, then the recruiter is given a random number of days to get their shit together. So, which population data are we passing in here? Okay, this is the eligible, this is the recruitee is who we need to, why am I dragging? I'm trying to also retrain myself to not drag. So here we need to put recruit. Okay. Recruitee dot days until service starts equals globals dot instance dot random. Once again, I don't, is it next here? My fingers are on shift. Next one, globals, instance, day, max days until service starts. Recruitee. So once again, I'm going to ask, I know I've asked this question of ChatGPT before, but I'm going to ask it again. I'm going to do a new one. What happens when you put in like random equals new random and then use that random, then what happens when you are done with that method using random? See, I don't know why I worry about this shit so much. Well, yeah, object goes, but I'm always worried about there's some shit floating around in the background and you like, what? Okay, so then it becomes eligible for garbage collection. The random instance will become unreachable unless it's assigned to a field or return. At some point, the garbage will clean it up, but not immediately. It depends on if you frequently create new instances of random in a short time. You're running into poor random. I don't give a shit about that. I mean, I do care, but the randomness is not something I'm too worried about. I actually was reading some Reddit thing, and they were saying, do this test, but be warned that the randomness isn't random enough on a computer for the test that they were talking about. And I was like, good God. Same seed producing the, oh, well, that's bad. If multiple instances are created in quick succession. How quick? How quick are we talking here? Use a single instance and reuse it. So this is what I'm doing is I'm doing this because I suddenly was worried about, that's why I have this global random here. But now I think that's dumb. See, I've changed my opinion. Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit, right? All right. Recruited days until we've got that. So if this skill check is true, we've recruited this dude. Person has been recruited. Random number of days before service starts has been will be generated. So this is a problem. We need to add, I'm not going to do it right now. We need to add like a dot or some shit to this to show that they've been recruited. Because once again, they're going to continue working at their job until this number of days ends. Why am I making this so complicated? So we need to put a dot in here. That's just fucking... Why do I have these crazy, like, it's got to be this way. So we're going to, under population, no, it's like actually going to be under something. County info panel, store, diplomacy, army tooltips, controls, player UI, population UI list. It's here. We need a dot or small icon with a tooltip. With a tooltip on the population list that shows when a person has been recruited, but is still in their random number of days before they actually start. I guess today is one of those days where we're just adding more issues to this. I'll put this here. What the fuck? Now the drag thing is working. Look at the one. I think it's moving too. Yeah, the diplomacy one, I'm pointing at my screen. Is that useful? Where are we going here? I just want this to go right here. There we go. All right, so we get the random thing. Then we need to add this person to the list. So then we add this person to the population data. It's a Godot list. What the fuck is this thing called? Joker, I see your message. I gotta remember what this thing's called, and then I'll. I don't think so. I think the answer is no. I think I just stopped doing it the next time I didn't do anything. Like we messed with those changes and it like was a little bit better. Like, we messed with it a long time ago and fixed it, and then it came back, and then we messed with it a little bit, and it was pretty good. And then like the next time it just didn't do it at all anymore. I was like, well, let's work on this. Let's figure this out. And it just didn't do it at all. So I just like kind of fixed itself. And I may have like went up a version of Godot. This is going to be called service. What did we call this thing? Subordinates. Add this recruitee. Change recruitees. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this later. To what did we call this activity? Service. To service once the service number of days till service starts is done. All right, let's look. Let's see if it's doing it. So I think the key was it had to be on 8, and then we needed to go like kind of a far distance. Like it looks like it's doing like a tiny bit. Not really, honestly. It's weird that it just like kind of fixed itself. Oh, it did one there. It did a little one there. So it seems like you gotta also kind of be like zoomed in. Didn't do it that time. Oh, it did it once there. Project settings. Physics. Is this a new thing? Because I haven't updated to RC whatever. I kind of want to not. I kind of want to stay in the physics interpolation. I want to try to not be on the cutting edge anymore. Physical interpolation. I was playing some Kinchi last night, and for some reason, when you dropped a dead body, the physics made him launch into the air, and which may sound weird. What's going on down here? I don't know if you've ever played Kinchi before, but camera 2D over into physics process mode due to got to speed it up. I can't tell if it's different. I think we got to go in a little bit. So in Kenshi, one of the things, I mean, it seems the same. In Kenshi, one of the things you gotta give your character a workout regimen to get their skills up, like their strength up and all their different skills. And one of the best ways to get your strength up is to be encumbered. So what you do is you find a bunch of dead bodies, you loot them until you're completely full. Then you pick up one of the dead bodies and you run around with it. So you're just like running through town with a dead body. And you just continue to run around with the dead body as much as possible. But occasionally, you need to suddenly become unencumbered because like a fight's about to happen or something. So you drop the dead body, and every time I would drop it, they would launch it so far, this shit would just be gone. Luckily, I'd already looted him and stuff. Yeah, I can't tell. I think this is better. I wonder what this means, though. Does it do this every time? Does it give me this warning? Holy shit, another hour's already gone? I need to wrap some what I'm doing up. I need to finish what I'm doing it. Okay, so I turned off the verbose thing. Should I worry about this? My camera does, but it's not. This is in the CPP file. Maybe it's in the wrong. No, it's in physics process. That seems right. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But thank you. Because it's weird that happens sometimes. Maybe it's just my computer. My computer, that's why I was looking at new computers, replace my gaming computer, and then move my current gaming computer to my like work programming computer. Let's try to wrap this thing up though, because it's already been, my 3 hours are up. So we have this else. Right, it's a $20,000 computer. At this point, my computer's acting like I've been whining about it for probably a year, maybe longer, maybe since I started this process. But no, I didn't. It really started acting strangely when I started using Unity, and I know that sounds like it's all Unity's fault, and it could be, but I don't actually think that it was Unity's fault. It was just installing Unity made things start, like, me notice problems. When I used to run Unity, every time I'd run it, all of these words would get tiny. Just at the top of the menus. These words up here. But that was when I really started noticing the decline of this computer, and it's never been the same. So the other solution would be just to reinstall Windows, but it's old, and computers only last like 6 months before you got to throw them away. That's why $7,000 is a lot of money. It's only last six months, and you got to throw it away. They're disposable. Let's finish this one thing. So if their skill they've recruited random number of days before service starts will be generated, because they just want us to consume and consume. Man, I've consumed so much with trying to fix this bathroom issue I had. It's all fixed, but so much buying of just junk, plastic junk. Not even gonna get into it. So much plastic junk. My water tastes like chemicals now. All right, so we did the skill check. We did this big sorting list. This is the first person we're testing. Oh, except I was gonna add on. Okay, let's call this a day, and let's do this though. So what I was gonna do is give a bonus to the skill. which this doesn't allow. This skill check doesn't allow an additional bonus. So we should probably modify this to allow additional bonuses. All right, so let's do this. Let's write down what we're going to do tomorrow for real here. This skill check thing is going to be out of fucking control. Change skill data.check to allow for additional bonuses. We want to add an attribute bonus to the skill check of the recruiter's leadership skill that is equal to the recruitee's loyalty adjusted skill bonus attributes bonus as if it was an attribute. So basically what we'll do is the higher loyalty they'll have, the easier it is to recruit them into your army or whatever. We want that to be really high so that, well, not really high, but if they're really loyal, then they're going to be like, yeah, of course I'll join and fight whatever. But then if their loyalty is low, it will give you the negative will be applied. So if their loyalty is, let's look at the attributes data. So they can't be recruited at all if it's under 30, but the chance of recruiting between 30 and 40, they're also going to get a -5 to that roll. So let's go back to one of these dudes. So in my mind, this person, Anthony's the one who's going to be trying to recruit. They're going to have a 27% chance plus their attribute bonus. So their attribute for, I think it's intelligence we were using, 28. So they got a 28. So they're going to get a -10 on top of that. And if they're trying to recruit someone, they're going to get a -5 on top of that. So that's a -15 to their skill of leadership. So they're going to have a 12% chance of recruiting somebody with a low loyalty. We really need to be able to sort this. But like if they were going to try to, so he's got a 27% chance, just straight off the top of 27%. Well, he's going to get the -5. So he's going to have a 22% chance off the top with his attribute bonus and his leadership skill. But let's say they're trying to recruit this person. They're going to give 100. They got 100%, so they're going to be a +20 to that. So this guy is bad. He's like a doofus. Anthony is just coming in. He's like, "Join my army, you fucking dipshit!" And the person's like, "God damn, you're an asshole." But so they even with their dipshittedness attempt of recruiting, they would still get the bonus, but it still would be pretty low because less than whatever it was, 42%. So that's why we want this additional bonus to try to help that out. So if you started with this leader, it would suck. Probably what you would do is you would assign this leader to do something like work with the population, because we haven't written this yet, but that will give a population bonus to their happiness. And then you recruit Emily here to be your explorer, because they would have a better chance, or your leader for combat and stuff. This person does have a perk, and we need a leader of people should probably apply a bonus to leadership, because this is your starting hero. Your starting hero should add a leadership bonus to the leadership skill if a person has leader of people. perk. So one of the reasons why I wanted this perk in there to start with, yeah, the leaferships. That sounds. Isn't that a Canadian hockey team? Uh, So one of the reasons why I wanted this, your hero when you start is to have leader of people, is to give some bonuses like that so that your starting hero is someone you want to keep around. And we're very far from this, but probably one of the first things you're going to want to do is hire a secondary person, a backup person, because if you lose your leader, the game's over. So you have to have an heir to the throne or whatever. All right, so we did all this crap. Let me close this stuff. Let me save this stuff. Wait, yeah, no, we're good there. Did I put the thing I wanted to do? We're gonna raid somebody too. What? How did this get to the top? I moved the wrong thing to the top. What the fuck? Why is this thing flopping all over the place? This one. This is the one. Oh, look, I had the idea of we have this mustering thing too. These are both, so there should be a mustering one and a service one. Maybe we put this one over to that list if we can get it over there. Oh God, what's happened? I wonder if it's because I'm using Firefox that this thing is so unreliable. At this point, I don't, maybe you can, but it sends it all the way to the right. That's not that one. It's this. You submitted the utility to the asset lab so you can download and some copy and paste it. Does it keep track of like how many hits it gets? I know that's not like a thing anymore. All right, let's push this code of we made a new branch instead of last time we didn't have one. So what did we do today? We kind of fucked around. I was thinking more of hits, like how many people have looked at it. Well, not people, but hits. But you know, in the good old day, everything had a hit counter, and now it's just bots that give you the hits. So what did we do today? We really didn't do anything. We sorted a recruitee list and started the recruitment process. Yeah, I kind of like those days. I know it's just probably nostalgia, but there was definitely you would run across weird shit on the internet and you'd be like, well, this guy has 50 million views and he's looking at whatever, dorsal fins. He's a dorsal fin guy. All right, so that's done. Let's find somebody to raid here. Wrong thing. Let's go over here. Yeah, so like all these weird issues with GitHub that I get in the project thing, I wonder if that's related to my computer or to according to Twitch, I'm all lagged out and shit. Hope that hasn't been the case the whole time. Fault. So that it was the thing. Can't remember who this person is. All right, since I can't remember who that person is, we'll find someone else. We'll come over here. I think I was just watching that person the other day, too. All right, let's see what we got. Filters. Software development. Godot. Oh, did we just get another person that's... I'm going to look over here. Godot. No, what is this thing? Godot. Come on, categories. Oh, I see what made that little dot come up. I thought it was something else. I always put Godot engine. Yeah, man, everything looks all lagged out. On there. And then we'll do C#. Can you do this? No. I think mine has that. Nobody. Yesterday, I was like, look, there's somebody using C#. Yeah. All right, what do we got? This person just started their stream. Created by Critters. Managing those mercs. Godot noob. English. Game development. Godot noob. I feel like a Godot. Is that a thing? What happens if I click this? Will I add it to the... is that... Oh, it is Visual Studio. Part 4x4 core, or 4x5, 4 out of 5 core loop. I like mercenary games. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. We're gonna rock and roll this. And then I always do this wrong, so I'm gonna do it right this time. I click this button, then I say bye. I thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Have a good existence. And then I'm gonna stop my stream, I think.